Parasites will eat anything that doesn't rot. So stuff like this. This is an energy drink. This is great. This is the best detoxer for your body. And then you're gonna probably think like, oh, there's poison in that, and that's not good for you. But you're way more powerful than an energy drink. I'll tell you that. And this stuff, because it's got refined sugar in it, and all these chemicals that are supposed to be harmful, like erythritol or whatever it says, sodium citrates, all that stuff, it doesn't hurt you. It doesn't hurt us. It hurts the parasites. And that's why there's loads of fear around these foods, like refined sugar and processed food like McDonald's and deep fried stuff, like rapeseed oil and all that stuff. Like it's been highly processed, so it's not edible by parasites. And because nutrition is a big fat lie and isn't real, there's just energy, right? And this has a bunch of refined sugar in it and all these chemicals. And what it does is it kills parasites and cleanses the body. Now, because parasites will talk to you in your own voice, in your own head, they'll send thoughts into your head that you take to be you, then you're gonna be constantly at war. So that's why everybody has this inner adversary, and people have intrusive thoughts because they are literally intrusive thoughts. They're intrusive. They're foreign to the body and the mind. They're not you. And because there's all that fear around it, you're not gonna be able to accept what I'm saying. A lot of people, because there's going to be all these thoughts battering into your head right now, listening to this, saying like, "Oh, that's not good. He's crazy. He's high on drugs. He's blah 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 blah." All these thoughts are just going to pop into your head to tell you all the reasons why you shouldn't do this and why you should stick to fruits and vegetables, which will keep you locked into a low energy 3D vibration because you're feeding parasites when you eat fruits and vegetables. You're feeding those thoughts, those negative, those negative thoughts, and those negative emotions and all of that. That's literally what you're feeding when you consume those 3D foods that rot. It's foods that rot. Any food that rots. Think about all the food in the world. What rots? Most of it. What doesn't rot? Refined sugar. McDonald's. Highly processed food, like cookies, Oreos and stuff. That doesn't rot. There's a reason you want to eat it. I know you want to eat it. Like everyone wants to eat it. It's because it's the food that you should be eating. It kills parasites. But then you've got all these fears in your head that stop you from doing it. And none of this is going to make any sense until you do it. So it doesn't matter what I say. This video is only for people who are listening to it. I'm not trying to prove a point or anything. I just recognize people need to hear that someone needs to tell you it's okay to eat that stuff. Someone needs to tell you sugar's not bad for you. Think about what sugar is. It's just highly refined. It comes from the sugar beet, and it's just highly refined, like crystal sugar, without all of the extra stuff on it. They just get it down to its most refined possible, molecule, whatever you want to call it. It's like a little crystal, and then your body can assimilate that so well because it doesn't have to break anything down. When you consume just refined sugar, doesn't have to break it down into because your body, when you consume fruit, it breaks it all down. When you consume food, your body has to break it down. But when you consume refined sugar, it doesn't have to do that, does it? It's already done. So it's immediately available, and because it doesn't rot, parasites can't eat it. So what you're doing is you're flushing yourself, drinking a lot of this stuff. You're flushing your body out, and you'll get detox symptoms just like you do with fruit juicing and stuff. But it's not the same because you're not feeding the parasites. You're not giving them power. So when you drink a load of fruit juice, eventually you get bloated. Anyone who's done a lot of fruitarian stuff will know that you'll bloat when you have a lot of fruit, and that's because there's fermenting, causing gas, and parasites are eating it. You're making them stronger. It's like a backwards. Everything here is inverted. So all the health people that talk about health. And I'm not saying fruitarianism is bad either. Don't get me wrong, because fruit, if you're in a damaged and weakened state, fruit's amazing because it detoxes you. It's better than eating meat and all the stuff that people eat. You know what I mean? Meat and potatoes and all that stuff. Potatoes are really sticky. You're better off with like greasy fries. I know that sounds, it's like counterintuitive, but at least it slides right through the body. And because that really refined processed oil, parasites can't eat that either. Um, so like you have to do experiments with this stuff. You can't just take my word for it, and you won't be able to do it exactly the way I've done it because everybody's path is different. But like if you're listening to this and you're thinking, maybe it kind of makes sense. He sort of seems stable in himself. Maybe he's onto something, which I am. But you have to do it to understand. And like this stuff, like it's there's loads of stimulants in this as well, which stimulate your digestive system and get the shit moving. Like they get everything flowing out. Mm. And it tastes awesome. Like it's like been purpose designed. Oh, I'll tell you another thing, which is great, which I've discovered, is vapes. You're gonna say again these crazy, but vapes they get the body opened up. They get you. They breathe. They let you breathe into areas that you don't normally breathe into. Because anywhere you can't breathe into regularly is where parasites can live. Because they, do you know what I mean? They block wherever you're blocked and your body's closed. Parasites will just build nests in there and then colonize in your body and then yeah. So these are good too. Um, Cigarettes not so good, but still, there's a reason that a coffee and a cigarette in the morning usually makes most people have a bowel movement. It's because it opens the body up. It gets you to breathe deeply into areas that you don't normally breathe. So like we have all these tools. Like the best tools I've found for realigning my body, you have to get your atlas in. That's not like an optional thing. If you want to get back to the perfect state of human, you have to get your atlas in. And then I use refined sugar, processed food, but I'm drinking more than I'm eating at the moment. So I'm just doing like a detox with these things. It's the best detox though. It just cleanses the body. It can't hurt you. It can only hurt the parasites. And then you will get symptoms, but it's only just cleansing. It's just like if you've done any cleansing, you'll know you get symptoms. And then ketamine is a great tool for realigning the body. But none of this will make any sense until you do it. So if you get your atlas in and then do some ketamine, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Just hearing me say it, you're just gonna be like, this guy is crazy or something, or this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Blah 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 blah. All those thoughts that aren't you. So yeah, I hope you can hope some people do this. What I'm saying, because it is. There's a reason all this stuff exists. There's a reason McDonald's exists. There's a reason all this fast food exists. And there's a reason it's becoming more prevalent. It's not because society is going down the drain. It's because humanity's like waking up. And then the problem in the world is parasites. That's like the only problem in the world. Literally, everyone's being manipulated by parasites. Everybody. And then all these foods cleanse them. Can't go on eating fruit and vegetables and like heavy meats and whatever, all this stuff, like all these foods that rot. You're just going to keep feeding the parasites, and they're just going to have a party in your body, and then and in your mind, and they're driving you, they're controlling you. That's why so many people are suffering. It's parasites. It's all parasites. So like we have all this stuff, these tools. It makes you look at the world in a different way. You're like, oh, it's not a bad place. It's just we've just been under the influence of parasites for a long time, and now we're waking up. That's why we have all these foods and stuff, like McDonald's and stuff. Like I eat nothing but processed food. I'm so lean. I have no body fat on me. I look at my skin. I look at it and I'm like, wow, I look healthy. Like I look healthier than ever. Like I'm just lean and like I just look like my skin just feels soft and all of that because I'm not feeding worms and just like they shit all inside your body. They pollute you. Like, and all the food, those foods that rot, they ferment. Like, you want to eat stuff that doesn't ferment. So, like, yeah, if you want me to talk to you more about this, I'll talk about this all day. Just message me on Instagram or just leave a comment and I'll talk to you about it. I could just talk about this all day. I've been through the whole process. I've done fruitarian, I've done juicing, I've done like 300 days of juice fasting. I've done loads of stuff. And I've brought my body back from like pure degeneration. And I'm still going through the process now, but like my alignment is so good. Like I've just got, because of all the work I've done with the ketamine, I'm just straight up, like perfectly, not perfectly yet, but like really good posture I have, and just everything feels open. Like I can take big deep breaths, and like, man, like I want this for other people, but The hardest part about this is giving it away. People don't listen, so we'll see. Yeah, well, that's my video.